Contemporary Christian artist Leanna Crawford is coming to the Watch Year Opera House in Watch Year, Iowa, Saturday, June 29th at 7 p.m. Doors open up at 6 p.m. Advance tickets are $15 plus tax, $20 at the door.
Hey, it's Leanna Crawford, and I am so cheery to be coming to Watch Year, Iowa. It's going to be such a sweet night of music and praising Jesus together, and I cannot wait to see you there.
All proceeds to support the Tri-County Food Pantry. Brought to you by the Watch Year Methodist Church. Ticket information can be found on the Watch Year Methodist Church Facebook page. The Keokuk County Expo Fair Kickoff Barbecue Cook-Off is Saturday, July 13th. $100 per team, up to 4. Deadline to sign up is Friday, June 28th. Cash payout is $350 to first place per category. Meal for the public starts at 5:30 with a free will offering. Be sure to sign up by the entry deadline, June 28th. Stop at the Keokuk County Extension Office to pick up a packet. Proceeds to support the Keokuk County Expo. Sponsored by Keokuk County Farm Bureau. The Keokuk County Veterans Affairs Office will host an open house on Thursday, June 27th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. The office has relocated to the first floor to offer easier accessibility. Stop by to meet Michelle Herman, the commissioners, and enjoy a light lunch. The Keokuk County VA Commission is located at the Keokuk County Courthouse in Sigourney, Iowa at 101 South Main. Again, the Keokuk County Veterans Affairs Office will host an open house Thursday, June 27th from 11 to 1. The 4th annual Travis Greiner Memorial Tractor Ride is Saturday, June 29th. Sign up begins at 6:30 a.m. behind Greiner Crop Service, east of Keota Water Tower. Free will donation. Includes lunch and snacks along the ride. Proceeds to Area 4-H and FFA fairs. The ride leaves Keota at 7:45 and will be a 60-mile round trip. Sponsored by Southeast Iowa Tractor Association, Incorporated. It's the 4th annual Travis Greiner Memorial Tractor Ride, Saturday, June 29th. And if you don't have a tractor, come and watch along the route. And a good morning. Welcome into the sports section. We are broadcasting live from Brothers Market in downtown Sigourney, 118 South Main Street in Sigourney. You can call them at 641-622-2191. We do thank Brothers Market for always being our host venue for the sports section. On a muggy start to our Saturday morning, let's check in with Mitch Eslick, as Mitch is our summertime host. Summer. Mitch. Your name is Mitch, not Summer. Mitch, what have we got going on this Saturday?
We got an exciting morning here this morning. We got a packed house here. We've got the Sigourney Junior High softball girls in here. We got Coach Clubb, and we got a handful of the girls in to talk about their season. So excited about that as they are in here to chat about their season that's kind of wrapping up here this week. So we'll hear from them here in about 5 minutes. But first, let's take a little trip around the county and talk about the action for baseball and softball from the week that was for us here in the back half of our regular season for baseball and softball. It was another perfect week for the Savages. They went undefeated on both sides. Softball team picked up a crucial conference victory, 3-2 over EV on Wednesday night. Closest regular season game in conference play for the Savage girls. The Bears left the bases loaded in the 7th inning as the Savages held on for dear life to put themselves in position to clinch yet another South Iowa Cedar League title. The Savage boys had a little bit easier go of it as they took down Keota, EV, and Iowa City Regina in non-conference play last night. Ike Molnick's Jake Moore both had big home runs in the win over the Regals last night. For Pekin, it was a nice week for the Panthers. They got a pair of sweeps. They beat Winfield Mount Union on both baseball and softball field on Tuesday night, and then had a sweep over Lone Tree last night. On Tuesday night, the baseball team won 5-3. Jaden Wolver had a big night on the mound and at the plate with 2 RBIs. Freshman Addison Smith struck out 8 in 7 innings pitched in the Circle. That was the Panthers' second win of the year, and then they got their third win last night over Lone Tree. For EV's softball team, they had that tight loss to Sigourney, but they also had nice wins over Belle Plaine and 5-2 last night over Iowa Valley. Candy Axmere had her team leading 9th home run of the season in the loss to Sigourney on Wednesday night. The EV boys took a trio of losses to Belle Plaine, Sigourney, and Iowa Valley on their week. The Keota Eagles, they got a split of a doubleheader on Wednesday night with Southeast Warren on the baseball diamond. Cole Kindred had a big night, 3 hits, 2 stolen bases, and they had a big win, 11-1 over Belle Plaine last night in South Iowa Cedar League play. Just 2-game week, for the Keota softball girls as they fell to Sigourney, and no score reported as of about 30 minutes ago against Belle Plaine last night for the Keota girls. HLVTC, they had a clean sweep on the softball side, beating North Mahaska, South Tama, and Colfax Mingo. Ayla Hall got them started in a big way, got on base, and scored 3 times the top of their order in the win over Colfax Mingo on Thursday night. And it was a couple close losses for the HLVTC boys. Boston York hit a long ball in their loss, 8-4 to Colfax Mingo. So that's the action that was in Keokuk County Baseball Softball Diamonds in the last week, Steve.
All righty, let's take a quick break, and we'll welcome in our guests for today as you guys make your way onto the camera there. Go ahead and take your seats. We do thank Brothers Market once again for always being our lead sponsor and our host venue for the sports section every Saturday morning. Of course, savings are made simple at shopbrothersmarket.com. They've got digital coupons. You can earn rewards. They got the deal of the week, shopping deals, and more. Plus, you can get the app. It's a smart way to shop. Download that Brothers Market app and get all sorts of savings there. That is the Brothers Market app, and shopbrothersmarket.com. Again, we thank Brothers Market for being our host. Oh boy, I'm just looking at my screen here, Mitch. I gotta adjust accordingly. We have got a bunch of folks in here today for our show, and Mitch, why don't you explain who we got?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the ratings are going to go through the roof if you get the camera off of me and on the girls. There's going to be a lot of people on Facebook that are going to like that. Yeah, we got our this would be our, well, I guess we'll say that the last school year is over. So we'll say 7th, 8th grade girls that are in here that are been playing junior high softball. We've got Coach Josh Clubb with us as well as we talk a little bit of junior high softball here this morning. So, Coach, let's start with you. With junior high sports, a lot of times we don't see the scores posted as much, and we don't know exactly what's going on. So just kind of give us a rundown of how the season's been going and talk about kind of what a typical game day looks like. Are you playing a double headers? Are you playing one game? Are you playing 7th, 8th? Kind of run us through how the season's been going for the ladies so far.
Well, junior high softball in the South Iowa Cedar League is a lot of early mornings. Our games always start at 9. We have an A game, a B game. We got players that represent both. We treat it as kind of one team, but we play 2 games. First game, like I said, always starts at 8 or at 9, and then we play another game after that. But we've had a lot of growth this year. We're currently sitting between all teams. We're sitting at 6 and 5. We got just 2 games and a tournament left. So these girls, we started out a little rough, but these girls have found their way and have been really playing well as of late. So. Junior high softball, it's all about developing and getting ready for that next level, the high school that you just ran down. That's what junior high is for, is to get you ready for that stage of play. And couldn't be happier with the way that these girls have performed throughout the year.
That's great. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Definitely seeing that improvement as the year goes on. Okay, girls, we're gonna start with you. Who's got the mic right now? Amelia, you got it? Okay, so we'll start with you, and then we'll have you kind of pass it, make sure that we get everybody. Okay, I know I've had all these girls in school, so I know they're very smart. Okay, so I know they're going to be able to handle this. I got three questions for you to answer before you pass the mic. First couple are easy. All right, first question is name. Second question is what position do you play in softball? And then the third question is going to be favorite concession stand ballpark food item that you would eat. Okay, so you got 3 questions to answer. Amelia, go ahead and lead us off.
My name's Amelia Phillips. I play basically anywhere except for pitcher, and my favorite food would probably be Bosco sticks.
My name's Kinsley Clubb. I play pretty much anywhere except for catcher, and my favorite concession stand food is probably Bosco sticks.
My name's Taylor Goldman, and I play first base, and my favorite concession stand food is probably popcorn.
My name's Emerson Snakenberg. I play third and outfield, and my favorite concession food is nachos with cheese.
My name's Collins Rourke. I usually play first or outfield, and my favorite concession stand food is probably something like popcorn.
My name's Shelby Fanabaker. I play mainly left field. I've went into first a few times. And my favorite concession stand food is probably a Bosco stick.
My name's Rylan Clubb, and I usually play second or outfield. And my favorite concession food's probably popcorn.
Hey, Mitch, before we go any further, I want all the girls in the back to come over like 1 foot so everybody can get their face on camera. There we go. That works a lot better.
Perfect. Yeah, that's what we want. We want to make sure we got everybody in screenshot here. It is kind of a tight squeeze here at the beautiful Brothers Market here on a Saturday morning. But we love that we have so many in here. It's exciting to get so many of our athletes in here talking a little junior high softball. So, Coach, you kind of touched on it a little bit, but just kind of interested to hear your thoughts at the junior high level. Like you said, development is such a big thing. Obviously, you want to win games, but how as a coach do you balance that where you're trying to get kids to play some different positions, to try some different things, but also still trying to win games and be competitive at that you're not at the varsity level, you're at that junior high level. Talk a little bit about kind of your thoughts on that and how that's gone this year for you.
I like to move girls into different spots because at this age I don't feel like they're set on a position. Or they're also getting to the age where outfield becomes important. In the younger youth ages, your travel ball and stuff like that. Outfield is not as important because the ball just doesn't get out there. When we get into junior high and high school, it is. So they're developing that, but then it's a game flow. With junior high too, you have that 5 runs per inning thing. So you can't get in too much trouble by trying some things out. And the biggest thing I think to balance the win versus the loss is letting them work through the challenges because whether you're batting or whether you're playing defense, that 5 runs is coming one way or the other, or you're gonna get your 3 out. So it gives you that ability to let some things play out and let the girls experience a little bit of failure because they'll respond. They're all, like you said, Mitch, they're all smart kids. They pick up quickly, so they'll be able to work through those and move on to the next inning. So the biggest thing I always tell these girls they got to understand is it's a new pitch, it's a new opportunity. The next out's the most important one, and the next hit's the most important one. So we just move on from where we're at into the next thing, and I think it helps them realize the success and the training that they've had can help them out.
You guys, girls, you did such a good job going around the horn here. I want to go around the horn one more time for another question for you. Obviously, all of you are involved in a lot of different things. Okay, so you're busy. Talk a little bit about just kind of tell the people all the different activities that you've been involved in, whether it was the last school year, this summer, or what you're planning on doing this next school year, so people can kind of get an idea of the variety of different things. Because at a small school like ours, very few people do just one thing, and whether it's you may only play one sport, softball maybe your only sport, but you're involved in all kinds of other 4-H, FFA, all that kind of stuff. So go around and talk about the variety of things that you guys are all involved in and what you're looking forward to, maybe for some of you that are getting close to high school. So Amelia, you go ahead and start first.
This year I was involved in softball, volleyball, basketball, wrestling, track, and 4-H.
This year I was involved in volleyball, basketball, track, and softball.
This year I was involved in volleyball, softball, and basketball.
I'm involved in volleyball, softball, and 4-H.
This year I was involved in volleyball, track, and softball and 4-H.
This year I was involved in volleyball, basketball, wrestling, and softball.
This year I was involved in basketball and softball.
All right, so that's definitely, like you said, definitely a busy crew, and I got a feeling when they get to high school, they're probably going to even pick up a few more things to keep themselves busy. So a very active group. Coach, let's talk a little bit about the success that the high school team has had and kind of the motivation, the inspiration that gives these girls. I know that I see them a lot at the high school games. How much of a motivating factor has that been for your team to see the success that the high school teams had here in the last couple years and knowing that they're kind of next in line and that's going to be them here pretty soon?
I'm not necessarily sure on the motivation part of it, but I know that that group of high school girls, they've helped us out as well. A lot of them will travel to the games with us, show up at practice, whatever it may be, and they're outstanding role models to these young girls. To see that the high school girls that have been to state 2 out of the last 3 years. Excellent shot at doing it again this year. These girls can look up to it. They also see, early in the season we share the field. We practice together, so they get to see what kind of work it takes to get to that, and to understand that it's the same thing. It's repetition. Baseball, softball, they're a sport of repetition, and they get to see that. They get to see that those girls that are that age, 4 years older than them, are still doing the same things and still working through the same things, still having the same failures of maybe missing a fly ball catch and stuff like that. So I think there's just that more of that role model thing than it is anything else.
Yeah, for sure. A great group of girls at high school level. And so I was told this morning, big town ball championship last night. Quick show of hands, how many of you were on that team as well? A couple in there. Okay. So that's kind of our younger group, are going to be 7th graders. Is that correct, that we're on that team?
Yep.
Talk a little bit about kind of the balancing act of that, of, you're playing games in the morning, you're playing games at night, you're trying to find a little bit of time to practice. How busy has that been for the kids?
Balancing act last year. It's kind of something you fall into when you're in that 6th grade going into 7th grade, where you're playing your junior high games or having junior high practice in the morning, and then you're going to your town, the Tri-County League games or whatever it is that night. And it's been, this group this year has done a great job of staying active in between the two so that they don't show up extremely flat, but it is tough. I ended up coaching both, so I had the ability to kind of manipulate what we were doing in the mornings to what we were doing that night. But yeah, there's 5 of them this year that did both. One of them happened to be a pitcher that pitched in both games, and there's certainly some stuff that you had to work through, but it's no different than what she's going to have to work through if she continues to pitch. But all the girls did a fantastic job last night. Yes, we took care of business against Regina. It was a Sigourney and Regina kind of night. I saw the 8U team was playing Regina, and the varsity was playing Regina last night. So, yep, we took care of business, and they're champions of that league, something to be proud of, some added motivation as we push to the end of the junior high season as well.
So talk a little bit about what you said you had a tournament left. How is that formatted? Is that a conference thing? Is that more of like just a few teams get together on a certain day? And are there any chances for people maybe that are sitting at home right now that say, hey, I don't got anything going on in the mornings this week. I want to come out and watch. You got any home games left? What's left for the season here for the girls?
So Monday we are traveling to North Mahaska. That's a makeup game from last week. Got rained out. And then Tuesday we're playing English Valley for the 3rd time. That is what they do in the South Iowa Cedar League, is like their tournament championship. That's for 5th place. We're playing the winner. That'll be for 5th place, and that'll be at EV, so relatively close to home. We do not have any home games left.
Okay.
And then next Saturday, the 29th, we're playing at a tournament at Hillcrest Academy.
Okay.
It's just a few junior high coaches that wanted a little bit more to end the season, and end the season with a couple of games. So it'll be us, Hillcrest Academy, Columbus Junction, and one other team. So we'll play 2, maybe 3 games that day, and that'll wrap up the season. But just a chance to play somebody that's not in our conference, because junior high will get maybe 1 game that we're playing somebody. We played Cardinal this year, and so just some added competition from area teams that are not necessarily in our conference to see how we stack up against them.
Yeah, for sure. All right, girls. It's been a long summer of softball. A lot of, like I said, it sounds like you guys have been incredibly busy. So what I want to hear, away from the softball diamond, what are you looking forward to for the rest of your summer, not softball related? What are some things that you're excited to do when you maybe have a little bit of free time? Are you going to start diving into volleyball, cross country work? Or are you going to do some stuff to enjoy? Are you going to spend a lot of pool time? What are you looking forward to for the rest of summer, maybe with a little bit of free time? So Amelia, lead us off here, and we'll pass her around.
Probably working with my 4-H show animals for fair.
Probably just getting to relax during summer and not doing softball.
Probably like the relax and swim.
I'm looking forward to the county fair and working with my cow.
Getting ready for fair or just relaxing.
Basically relaxing.
Relaxing and swimming.
I was thinking we might hear a sleep in. So let's say that I'm interested in this, Coach. A question for you. You say the game started at 9:00. Obviously, the girls aren't rolling in at 8:55. Talk a little bit about how early they're at the Diamond. Kind of what's your pregame routine? Let's say it's a home game, so you don't have to get on a bus and go anywhere. Kind of what is your routine when you get to the Diamond? When do the girls need to be there? And kind of what are some of the things that you go through pregame just to get ready to play on a given morning?
Typically for home games, I'm usually there by about 7 to set up the field, chalk the lines, all that fun stuff. Girls roll in about 7:30. Go through some hitting practice. Then we have a pretty scripted warm-up routine as far as jogging and playing some catch. We do things called everydays, which is ball hand control stuff, and then pitchers and catchers start throwing, and next thing you know, it's game time. So it's 7:30 is probably the latest these girls are showing up at the Diamond. Away games, of course, much earlier, especially if we're going to a Marengo or North Mahaska. Our bus will leave about 7 o'clock, and we try to get hitting in before that. So, yep, very much early mornings.
Yeah, that is for sure. It's a big commitment, and it sounds like these girls have done a phenomenal job. So I got one more question for you here, Coach, and then we'll let all you get out of here, as we appreciate you spending a Saturday morning here with us on the sports section. Talk a little bit about kind of Coach Striegel at the varsity level, and how much input does she have with the junior high team? Does she give you stuff to work on? Does she kind of leave you alone and say, hey, I trust you, you got this? Is there a mix between that? Just kind of the relationship between a head varsity coach and the junior high coach with you and Coach Striegel this year.
Starting out, she's got some key things that a lot of girls that she sees come into varsity that they don't have. They're what a lot of people would think are minor things, but they're not minor things. They're actually really hard skills to pick up. So it's again, I mentioned the word repetition. It's a repetition thing with that. And then, she'll make it to some of the games, and then I also spend time at varsity games, and we talk through how things went, and some of the stuff that to try to get the girls. Obviously, she's been coaching and seeing more softball players than I can't even imagine. But so I get to share thoughts with her on if a certain girl's struggling with a certain thing, and she can give me some things to work on there. And it kind of goes it goes vice versa, because I was never coached by her, and I have a little bit different of a coaching philosophy than Coach Striegel, and so she can also. She's using feedback from me as well a little bit, and as far as how do I get these girls over that hump and to the next level, and so not necessarily a I don't know how to say that, but not necessarily like she's directing anything. It's more of a, like you said, she said, I trust you, you know what you're doing, type of deal. But it's the door's open both ways for us to share everything and talk about the development and where these girls succeed, because she's going to be these girls that are going into 8th grade, they're eligible to play varsity next year. They can play both. So if there's girls in some positions that she has seniors leaving and there's an opening and a need, it's something that she wants me to work on a little bit more with them.
Yeah, and that's a great point, with softball being the one sport where you can play the summer as an 8th grader, that's because are there any going to be freshmen that were 8th graders last year that are on the junior high team, or is it all last year's 6th and 7th graders for you this year?
It's last year's 6th and 7th. Yep, all the girls that were in 8th grade that are going to be freshmen, they all played on the varsity team this year because we had the numbers to fill out an A and a B team, and it didn't overpopulate the varsity dugout to the point that girls were going to miss playing time. So it was a year where Coach Striegel just took them all up there. That changes every year. It's a numbers thing. It's a skill level thing and it's a balancing act that we'll talk about at the end of the season, me and Coach Striegel. But so these girls are. Next year some of them may be on that varsity team, some may not, but none this year.
So, and is that the case for the teams that you're playing against, or are you playing against a lot of older kids where there are a lot of eighth graders that are, because they can play if they need to or want to. So have you seen that you played against a lot of the older kids, or has it been mostly kind of kids that have been these girls' age?
The majority of teams we've played have at least 2 or 3 girls on the team that I've also noticed that they're playing on the nights when the varsity's playing them. Yep. So, the majority of the teams across the South Iowa Cedar League had 7th and 8th going to be freshman 8th graders on their teams. Not a lot of 6th graders that I've noticed. So we played against older girls, and we competed well. Like I said, I think we're 6-5 overall between all of our teams. So we hung right there with them, and I think that's the same thing across all the teams in the South Iowa Cedar League. It's a numbers game, right?
Yep.
We're all small schools,
Yep.
so you have to play the hand you're dealt.
That is 100% sure. So it sounds like we've got one more chance. Unfortunately, as Coach said, no more home games for the girls, but a couple close ones next Saturday. They're at Hillcrest for that tournament to wrap it up, and you can check them out in their final week of the season. So, Steve, you got something? Go ahead.
I have one last question for Coach Clubb. Now, he is also not only the coach, but he also does just a little bit of advertising on Steve Shuttler Media. Tell us about your day job, Josh. Get in a plug for your business.
Yeah, I operate a handyman service here out of Sigourney. It goes across pretty much all faucets of home improvement other than roofs and concrete work. So son-in-law services is what it's called. I advertise with Steve Shuttler Media, and it's busy and it's really tough to balance that between both junior high ball and town ball. But if you need anything done, anything small all the way up to huge jobs, I'm available. I've a lot of years in the trades. I've got a lot of experience in the trades, but I've done as small as putting together a bookshelf to somebody, as far as adding a bathroom and a basement, from basically a concrete floor to a finished full bathroom and a basement. So give me a call if you need something, or find me on Facebook.
A live commercial from
there you go.
Son-in-law services.
And it sounds like your schedule is going to free up maybe a little bit here in the next couple weeks, so maybe a little bit more free. Which one of these girls that's with us this morning would you trust the most to help you put a bathroom together? Which one of these girls? I'd put you on the spot here. Which one of these girls would you trust the most?
I trust all these girls to do anything, but I have had. So I got my 2 daughters, Kinsley and Rylan. Kinsley has actually worked with me at a house, Pat Militich. A lot of people would know her, but helped me put together some cabinets there and stuff, and she did great. So yeah.
And let's do a quick picture before we get out of here. Everybody, take a look at me. And the shorter girl, there you go. Shorter girl in the back. Get over just a hair. 3, 2, and hey, we got a couple pictures. All right. Those are always good for social media after the fact. Josh and girls, we thank you for taking time and getting up early on a Saturday morning to come in and chat about softball this morning. So you guys have a great weekend. All right, and let's take a look right now. We'll transition back to Mitch. We'll take a look at our athlete and our team of the week. Our athlete of the week brought to us by Keokuk County Hospital and Clinics, and that goes to Cardinal Baseball's Caden Courtney, who's been tearing it up lately on the ball diamond. Caden Courtney of Cardinal Baseball voted our athlete of the week for Keokuk County Hospital and Clinics. And then we're going to stay in Cardinal for our team of the week, the Kelly Style State Farm team of the week, again, as voted on Steve Shuttler Media, Cardinal Softball. And this is the second time, I believe, possibly in the last month, maybe 5 weeks, that the Cardinal Softball girls have been voted our team of the week. So Cardinal making the clean sweep of athlete and team of the week. Again, Caden Courtney, our athlete, and Cardinal Softball, our team of the week. All right, let's go back to Mitch Eslick with the remainder of our sports section. Mitch.
Big week down in Eldon, so
Yes.
Congrats to the Cardinal girls. They've had a great season so far. I'll be interested to see what they can do in the postseason play here coming up in a couple weeks. We do have postseason brackets out on the baseball side. We're expecting them soon on the softball side as well. So we'll chat maybe a little more about that next week as the postseason gets ready to ramp up on the high school baseball and softball diamonds. But let's take a look at what we are watching for in the next week to come here in the sports world. On the youth side, we just had them in here. It is the final week of youth junior high baseball, softball. We got the softball schedule. Baseball, assuming, is fairly similar as well. So get out and try to support those boys and girls if you can. Last week, opportunity to do that. High school level, very fun opportunity for the Pekin Panther baseball team as they head to the Field of Dreams site to play a game on Monday afternoon. They have a 4 o'clock game at the Field of Dreams site. They take on Central Lee. Definitely a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity there as the Pekin Panthers and Central Lee will play at the Field of Dreams new field that they built. There's no major league games there this year, so they've let the high school kids come and play. So that'll be a very fun opportunity for the Panthers. First pitch 4 o'clock for that one. Big tune-up, pre-tournament tune-up for the Sigourney softball girls. Next Friday night, they'll host Albia at 5:30. That should be a very good game. Albia's had a nice season. That'll be a good test for the girls as they get primed and ready, hopefully to make another run to Fort Dodge in the state tournament. And they'll face Albia Friday night here at Sigourney. College side, we got the College World Series Finals Series. First pitch tonight. In Omaha, it is a best-of-3 series between the Texas A&M Aggies and the Tennessee Volunteers. It's an all-SEC championship bout. They'll play best-of-3, so they'll play tonight. They'll play Sunday night, and then, if necessary, they'll play Monday night against each other if we need it, starting tonight in Omaha. Best-of-3 series to see our final college athletics of this calendar season. They'll take a little break, and then before you know it, they'll be firing up volleyball, football, all that stuff in the fall at the college level. Professional level, congrats to the Boston Celtics, NBA champions. 18th NBA championship for the Celtics. They defeated the Dallas Mavericks 4-1, finished up the title this week. On the hockey side, the Edmonton Oilers have come all the way back from down 3-0. They've won 3 games in a row. They had a big win last night at home in Edmonton to send it to a Game 7 winner-take-all for the Stanley Cup Championship. That'll be Monday night back in Florida as the Panthers and the Oilers will decide our Stanley Cup champion on Monday night, as Edmonton was down 3-0. They've tied it 3-3. And we've got the top players in the world playing football, but not that football, the soccer variety, football. They're playing for their countries. We've got the Euros, the European Championships going on across the seas, and then we've got the Copa Americas for teams in North and South America. So some regional soccer competitions. Some of the biggest, most anticipated sporting events in the world would be those soccer games. So they will be certainly the eyes of the world will have their eyes on those 2 tournaments that are going on right now in Europe and here in the Americas. And then lastly, the race is on. We're about a month away from the Olympics in Paris, and we're trying to qualify for the most difficult team in the world to qualify for. That's Team USA. Olympic trials in full effect. Swimming has been going on for the last week. They've been at the Lucas Oil Football Stadium in Indianapolis. They brought a pool in there, kind of a cool look if you haven't seen that. They're wrapping those up here this weekend, and then the track and field championships just got underway a couple days ago, so they're be going on all week as well, trying to qualify, trying to get on Team USA and make it to the Olympics, which start at the end of July in Paris. So we'll be looking forward to that. Always a very fun couple weeks of Olympic competition in the summer, and it is an Olympic summer here this year. So that's all we got for a little preview of the week to come here, the last week of June coming up here this next week.
I was also going to throw in, Mitch, that when you're talking about the College World Series, yes. A previous guest on the sports section during the springtime months was Jane Lutji, known as formerly Jane Dietrich from here in Sigourney. She's a Sigourney graduate, and she has quite the singing voice, and has sung the national anthem all around Iowa and the Midwest, and has added the Men's College World Series to her list. She just sang at the Men's College World Series, the national anthem, this past week. So Jane has another what do you call it? Notch under her belt. So
that is very impressive and very cool. And I'm sure that was they get huge, they get packed houses for that one. So I'm sure that was a big crowd to be singing in front of. So congratulations to her. Quite an honor.
Yes, quite the deal for Jane. So congratulations to her. All right, Mitch, we survived another week here on the sports section. Great show with the junior high Sigourney girls, and we'll be back at it next week. We're fingers crossed. I think we're going to try to get the varsity Sigourney girls in with Coach Striegel.
They finally got a Saturday off.
Yes, they always have some sort of tournament or game somewhere, but next Saturday we're hoping to get the softball girls from Sigourney, maybe Carly Goodwin, fingers crossed, our Gatorade Player of the Year to Brothers Market. Mitch, we thank you, and we thank Brothers Market, again, at 118 South Main in Sigourney. Make sure you download the Brothers Market app and go to shopbrothersmarket.com for more information and savings. All right, that does it for this week's sports section, live from Brothers Market. We'll see you next Saturday.